Published 0900 est, the 31st of December 2017. Updated 1016 est, the 31st of December 2017. Stop the clock. After 18 successive Premier League victories, Manchester City have failed to win, held to a goalless draw at Crystal Palace. They are still top, with 59 points, comfortably clear of the rest and still unbeaten in the Premier League, but they came mighty close to defeat as goalkeeper Ederson saved a last-minute penalty from Luka milivojevic. Palace thought they were about to achieve a famous triumph when Wilfried Zaha was adjudged to have been fouled by Raheem Sterling. Manchester City forward Raheem Sterling brought Wilfried Zaha down to concede a stoppage time penalty kick. Luka milivojevic hit his spot kick hard and straight, but Manchester City goalkeeper Ederson saved with his feet. Andros Townsend has his head in his hands after missing the biggest chance of the game for Crystal Palace. Pep Guardiola urges his side on as they search for a late goal to extend their winning run further in the Premier League. Leroy Sane leads the Manchester City players from the field after the end of their record-breaking winning streak. Zaha smiled and clenched his fists to celebrate the decision, and the Selhurst Park crowd roared. Milivojevic stepped forward, but Ederson kept out his spot kick, saving with his legs as the Serb aimed down the centre of the goal. City set off on a fluent counter-attack, but the momentum ended with both Kevin De Bruyne and Jason Puncheon carried off injured. Roy Hodgson and Pep Guardiola sat together chatting as their players received treatment. To lose De Bruyne for an extended time would have repercussions on City's march on four fronts beyond this game. Crystal Palace can take enormous credit to go with another precious point towards their survival campaign. Roy Hodgson's arrival has been transformational. They were organised and committed and repelled everything City could throw their way. Wayne Hennessy, back in goal for the first time in a month, made some splendid saves, while James Tomkins and Martin Kelly, who came on in the first half for Scott Dan, were pillars of strength in central defence. Kevin De Bruyne goes down under pressure early in Manchester City's clash with Crystal Palace on Sunday. Manchester City goalkeeper Ederson leaps highest to head away the danger as Andros Townsend looks to pounce. Manchester City midfielder Ilkay Gundogan slides in to win the ball from Crystal Palace defender Patrick van Aanholt. De Bruyne runs into trouble as he tries to break the deadlock for Manchester City at Selhurst Park on Sunday afternoon. Christian Benteke rues a missed opportunity as Crystal Palace ran the Premier League leaders close at home. Everyone contributed, as everyone must, to stop this free-spirited City team. Palace were the first to stop them scoring in the Premier League since Manchester United in April. This will provide a warm glow for Hodgson as the 70-year-old toasts the new year and prepares to face Southampton on Tuesday. As the Palace boss promised, his team did not set out to sit back and defend, although, ultimately, that is what they had to do. Wilfried Zaha was deployed in a slightly deeper and wider role to reinforce the midfield, rather than up front in support of Christian Benteke, but they produced a positive opening period, with elements of threat. A mix-up between Eliakim Mangala and goalkeeper Ederson gave Benteke a brief glimpse of goal from an angle. Mangala recovered in time to make a block at the expense of a corner, and Ederson produced a flying save to turn a deflected volley from Patrick van Aanholt wide. The game's healthy tempo was halted by two injuries midway through the first half. Midfielder De Bruyne checks on Scott Dan as the Crystal Palace captain is forced off with a first-half injury. Manchester City striker Gabriel Jesus sustained a first-half injury after slipping under pressure from Townsend. The Brazilian was in obvious discomfort but appeared to be refused physio treatment at first by referee John Moss. Jesus appeared distraught as he was forced off and consoled by City staff as he was replaced by Sergio Aguero. Manchester City's physiotherapy team attended to the Argentine striker after he appeared to suffer a nosebleed. Palace captain Dan suffered what appeared to be a serious injury while fouling Kevin De Bruyne to ensure the Belgian did not reach the penalty area on the counter-attack. Dan was booked and carried off with his right leg in a brace, taken straight to an ambulance without calling at the dressing room. Gabriel Jesus was next to leave, having earlier required treatment after twisting awkwardly under a challenge from Andros Townsend. Jesus continued and forced a save from Wayne Hennessy before limping off to be replaced by Sergio Aguero, who almost scored with his first effort. Aguero's shot from distance clipped Jairo Riedewald on the heel and looped over goalkeeper Hennessy before striking a post. City were firmly in control by this stage, with Palace's front three doing their best to scavenge something from what little possession they could acquire. Zaha was dangerous, but City's ability to win the ball in advanced areas limited his influence. De Bruyne cannot hide his frustrations as Manchester City struggled to make a breakthrough away from home. De Bruyne exchanged angry words with teammate Leroy Sane after a miscommunication during the opening period. Nicolas Otamendi battles for the ball inside the opposition area as Benteke and Wayne Hennessy watch on. Palace exerted enough pressure, however, to frustrate their visitors, and the Selhurst crowd enjoyed a moment in the first half when Leroy Sane and De Bruyne became locked in a brief dispute about a misplaced pass. Sane was then booked for kicking the ball away after conceding a free kick. Without the creative force of David Silva, still absent for family reasons, Guardiola's team were kept at bay. Aguero turned another shot wide before the interval, and Hennessy made a fine save with his body to deny Sane, early in the second half. The cross for Sane came from Raheem Sterling, sent on by Guardiola in the hope he might inspire a breakthrough, having scored the only goal at Newcastle on his previous outing. By this stage, Palace, for all their adventurous intentions, were dug in around the edge of the penalty box, throwing whatever they could in front of the relentless waves of attack. Hennessy saved another fierce drive from De Bruyne, but for Palace there was an excellent opportunity to take the lead, which fell to Andros Townsend. Zaha crossed from the right, Jason Puncheon stepped over the ball, and Townsend missed the target horribly and held his head. He was not to know Milivojevic would miss an even better chance to topple the runaway leaders. De Bruyne and Jason Puncheon received treatment from the physios after they clashed in the final minutes. De Bruyne is checked out by City's medical staff as his teammates exchanged words with referee John Moss. Puncheon injured himself as he looked to stop the Belgian playmaker charging forward after the penalty miss. De Bruyne was helped from the field by Manchester City's medical staff after his late injury at Selhurst Park.